Alright folks, how yous doing? Aaron here with another new video for you. This is a further update on the situation going on in Scottish football. Since I uploaded my first video on the topic last week, a lot has happened. I'm going to fill you in on a timeline of events, starting off from last Friday. Let's get started. On the 8th of April, the SPFL announced their proposal about how to end the season. They also said that the 42 league clubs had until a 5 PM deadline on Friday, April the 10th to submit their yes or no response to the resolution. In order for it to pass, 3/4 of the 12 Premiership clubs had to vote in favour, 75%. The same went for the 10 Championship clubs, and in Leagues 1 and 2, 75% had to agree to the resolution. Seems simple enough, doesn't it? Oh, how wrong we were. Many teams released statements in a response to the SPFL's proposal. Rangers got it started and said they rejected it because they said that 2 days was nowhere near enough time to consider everything put in front of them, and they said that the SPFL should try and pay out some of the end of season prize money early as a loan in order to help the clubs that were perhaps struggling financially. Partick Thistle quickly followed this up with a similar statement. Falkirk also put a statement out saying they were extremely opposed, which, to be honest, you can understand why Falkirk were a little bit annoyed, and a little bit's an understatement. They were only 1 point off the top of League 1 and had a much better goal difference than Raith Rovers, who were in fact top of the league. So you can tell why the Bairns were getting a bit antsy about the whole thing. Livingston were in fact the first team to back the SPFL's proposal, and then along came Hearts, and Budge made it no doubt in anybody's mind that Hearts would not be voting for the SPFL's proposal. And the final bit of news that day was that despite the SPFL's deadline of 5 o'clock, the rules said that the clubs actually have 28 days to get back to them in terms of their voting, not the 2 days that the SPFL put forward. Oh well, keeping up so far, hopefully, because there's a lot more to come. Moving on to the 10th of April, St Mirren came out and said that they supported the SPFL's proposal. Rangers said that despite contacting the SPFL multiple times, they never really got any help about what would be considered an appropriate proposal until it was, they ran out of time and they'd already given their proposal to the SPFL, and they felt that if the SPFL had perhaps given them help before the deadline, they would have had time to prepare a more reasonable proposal, which would not have been eventually turned down. The SPFL then hit back at Rangers, and they hit back very hard. They said that Rangers and 2 other clubs were pretty much trying to bully the SPFL into changing their minds about the proposal and modifying it to suit the interests of Rangers and the 2 other clubs. As well as this, the counter-proposal that Rangers had put forward turned out it was ineffective after being looked at by lawyers. The SPFL also claimed that Rangers did not give them any communication asking for clarification until 18 minutes past 10 at night, which was obviously a long time after the deadline. Hibs came out and said they were in favour of the resolution. No wonder. Of course they want to see Hearts relegated. And then Dundee released a first of many statements they will make in the next few days. They criticised the SPFL proposal and said they were only really looking out for the competition and not really taking the financial situations of the clubs in said competition into account. Bizarrely, later on that night, the SPFL announced the results of the vote publicly when they were incomplete. Turned out it was all waiting on one Championship club who was still yet to vote. On the 11th of April, Inverness Caledonian Thistle CEO Scott Gardner confirmed that Dundee FC were the club who had yet to vote. Rangers then called for the resignation of the SPFL Chief Executive Neil Doncaster. After this, the SPFL said to Rangers they can either back up their claims or take them back. They're not messing about, are they? Pretty soon after this, the Scotsman put out an article which had an image of Dundee's voting slip, signed, dated, and voting no, which obviously would have ended the SPFL's resolution. And Dundee said that the vote was submitted at 4:52 PM, a full 8 minutes before the imposed deadline by the SPFL. Rumours were getting about that the email itself got caught up in the SPFL's email spam folder and was not seen until after the deadline. Next again day, the BBC reported that Dundee's voting slip was cast, and then they later emailed the SPFL and asked for their vote to be taken back so they could reconsider it. Rangers then came out and said that the SPFL have the power to give the funds to clubs already, and they've got proof that they're able to do this. And then they asked the SPFL why they said that clubs had to agree with the proposal they were putting forward in order to receive their funds. Anne Budge then released a statement saying that Hearts also put forward a counter-proposal to the SPFL that was identical to the one that Rangers put forward. It was submitted before the deadline and was rejected by the SPFL because of one word. Just a singular word was enough for the SPFL to turn it all down. Furthermore, information got out that clubs could change their no vote to a yes, but they couldn't change a yes vote to a no, and it wasn't an SPFL rule. This is just a rule that surrounds companies voting, and it's not something that the Scottish Professional Football League ever put in place. It was there already. Edinburgh City released a statement on the 13th of April saying that they voted against the SPFL's resolution. There were many reasons for this, but one of the reasons was that they felt the resolution went against the values of sporting integrity. Later on the 13th, the Lowland League ended the season early and named Kelty Hearts as the champion club. The SPFL announced on the 14th of April that they were going to have a board meeting to talk about events and find out just what was going on with Dundee's voting situation. Lowland League side Bonnie Rose, who were in second place in the Lowland League, put out a statement highlighting a very important issue. Because of the scrapping of the playoff games, Brecon City, League 2's bottom club, would survive. They also had a member on the SPFL board, and that is the issue that Bonnie Rose were flagging up, a potential conflict of interest. Partick Thistle also announced that they were seeking legal advice around the SPFL's vote. Dundee finally put out a statement about the vote and said they were in no position to comment, so it was just a massive anti-climax. It's been a long haul, but we've finally got to today's events, the 15th of April 2020. Raith Rovers put out a statement this morning saying that the vote should be concluded with the SPFL's resolution, and we've already discussed the reasoning for wanting the vote to be concluded so soon. They were only 1 point ahead at the top of League 1, but Falkirk had a massively better goal difference to them. Dundee then put out a very long statement and it clarified nothing in particular. And then later on today, we finally learned that Dundee had changed their minds from the original vote of no to yes. This meant the resolution was passed. Dundee United, Cove Rangers and Raith Rovers won their leagues and gained promotion. This also meant that Partick Thistle's relegation to League 1 and Stranraer's relegation to League 2 was confirmed. The final piece of news from today was that Hamilton Accies chairman Les Gray, along with Anne Budge, will be heading a Scottish football task force who will be looking into expanding the Premiership for season 2020-21. Because of that, Hearts' relegation to the Championship hasn't yet been confirmed, as it's yet to be seen where they would fit into an expanded Premiership. We got there in the end. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and a comment and tell me what you thought. Obviously, it's a rapidly changing subject, so as soon as more information becomes available, I'll get it out to you as soon as possible. Until then, hang tight, stay safe, and I'll see you for more content very soon. Thanks for watching.